All right, let's talk about the single most important skill you can learn right now to secure your career in the age of AI. I'm talking about prompt engineering. And just so we're clear, this isn't just some passing tech trend. This is about making a fundamental shift from being a simple user of technology to becoming its director. Just let that sink in for a second. We're at a point where AI can perform tasks that, until very recently, were exclusively human. This isn't some far-off warning about the future, you know? This is a reality check for right now.
And this is where we get to the core of it, what I call the AI career paradox. Because AI is both a massive, massive threat and an absolutely unprecedented opportunity. And like it or not, it's forcing every single one of us to choose a side.
Okay, let's start with the threat, because it's real. According to PwC, AI could replace a staggering 300 million jobs globally by the end of this decade. To put that in perspective, that's almost the entire population of the United States.
And you know, the speed of this change is just mind-blowing. The World Economic Forum found that 44%, nearly half of all workplace skills, will be disrupted by 2027. That's just around the corner. It's a harsh truth, but the skills that got you here, they're not going to be enough to get you there.
So, because of this, a huge gap is opening up right in front of us. On one side, you've got the casual user. They treat AI like a slightly better Google, and honestly, they get pretty mediocre results. But on the other side, you have the AI director. This is the person who orchestrates these tools, turning them into powerful strategic partners. And that, right there, is the opportunity.
So the big question is, how do you get from one side to the other? How do you cross that gap? Well, you do it by mastering what is quickly becoming the new literacy of our time. And it has nothing to do with coding. It's all about commanding.
And this is really the key. Prompt engineering is the art of translating your ideas, your creativity, into a language that a machine can understand and execute with absolute precision. It's what we call a meta skill, meaning it's a skill that makes every other skill you have even more valuable. And look, the market is already screaming for this skill. LinkedIn says AI interaction is a top emerging skill. A McKinsey study found a 40% efficiency boost for people who really integrate AI well. And you can just go on a site like Upwork and see specialists charging up to $500 an hour for this. The value is undeniable. So here's the bottom line. The stakes really could not be higher. If you ignore this shift, the cost is, well, obsolescence. But the reward for mastering it, that's sovereignty. It's control over your career, your creativity, and your future.
Okay, so enough about the why. Let's get practical and talk about the how. We're going to walk through a really simple but incredibly powerful 4-pillar framework. Think of this as your personal system for turning AI from a potential threat into your greatest professional ally.
So, what are the building blocks of a truly great prompt? It really comes down to 4 things: intent, context, structure, and iteration. If you can master these 4 pillars, you will get absolutely incredible results from any AI you work with. Let's break down each one.
First up, we have intent. This is all about knowing your destination before you even start the car. I mean, if you're not crystal clear on what you want, how can you possibly expect the AI to be? This one simple thing is what separates the amateurs from the true architects. So, before you type a single word, you have to ask yourself these questions. What is the exact outcome I'm after? What does an A+ answer actually look like here? And who is this for? Why does it even matter? Getting clear on this stuff first is half the battle.
Okay, let's move on to pillar number 2, context. This is all about feeding the machine the right information. You have to remember, an AI is unbelievably powerful, but it's not a mind reader. The quality of the context you provide directly, and I mean directly, impacts the quality of its answer.
Here's a perfect example. Instead of just saying, "Give me some pitch deck ideas," which is super vague, you provide rich context. You tell it you are a senior marketing strategist. You define the audience, health tech investors. You give it a role and a purpose. That's how you go from a generic answer to a professional-grade result.
Pillar 3 is structure. This is where you put on your editor's hat. You're not just telling the AI what to create, you're telling it how to organize it. You're designing the flow, turning what could be a chaotic data dump into something clear, organized, and immediately usable.
And here's a brilliant example of that. Instead of just asking for trends, you give it a precise format. List 5 key trends, and for each one, I want an insight, a data point, and a takeaway. See that? This kind of structural command is what takes a prompt from good to absolutely great. And that brings us to our final pillar, iteration. Honestly, this is the secret sauce. Nobody, and I mean nobody, writes a perfect prompt on the first try. The real magic, the real mastery, happens in that back and forth, that process of refining and improving your instructions based on what the AI gives you.
So once you get that first response back, you start a dialogue. You ask yourself, what's missing here? How could I make the tone better? Where do I need it to add more emphasis? This conversation is what transforms you from a simple user into a genuine AI director.
So, you've got the framework. The big question is, how do you actually put this into practice? Well, here's a super clear 30-day action plan that'll take you from just knowing about this skill to actually starting to master it.
Think of it like this. Week 1 is all about awareness, just learning the language. Week 2 is alignment. You start applying this directly to your own career. Week 3 is for action. You'll start building your own personal library of awesome, effective prompts. And by week 4, expansion, you'll be using AI as a true strategic partner.
But as we start to wrap this up, I really want you to understand something. Everything we've been talking about, this is not just another job skill you can add to your LinkedIn profile. It's an identity shift. When you really master this, you stop being someone who just reacts to technology, and you become someone who orchestrates it. You're no longer competing with the machine. You're collaborating with it on a level that most people can't even imagine yet.
So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. In this new world that's emerging, you have a choice to make. Will you be a passive user of AI, or will you be its architect? Because the future absolutely belongs to those who choose to be the architect.